Hi there. Thank you for your post. I really appreciated that you chose to talk about top-down communication. I feel like this is something in my workplace that I really get frustrated with and struggle with also. It just seems like the communication isn't very great from the top down. It's definitely a do your job and leave me alone energy that's happening there, and it's frustrating. I like what Stephanie said in her reply to your initial post was that it feels like a game of telephone a lot of times, and I definitely feel like that. I feel like that's how rumors get started. I feel like how that's there's a lot of frustration that happens when communication isn't communicated well, when it's not effective. I think that, like you mentioned, using a survey to get a gauge on how employees perceive or interpret how communication is being used and handled. Communication, or I'm sorry, a survey would give you some data that would then be shared in a pie chart, like you mentioned, or a bar chart or a histogram. I know you mentioned that you really like pie charts too. I feel like they're really easy to read. You have to be pretty specific in the questions that you write when using a pie chart. But histograms and bar charts are also really helpful information as well, to get a gauge and a pulse on how employees are feeling about workplace communication. I think one thing that makes or breaks this information, because I feel like you can gather all kinds of information, but if people don't implement it, it's useless. And so gathering that information and having the higher ups implement what they're getting from those surveys is what really makes it effective, and then follow through to make sure that the mid-level and lower level employees are understanding and implementing the things that the higher ups are doing. Overall, I think though that when everybody participates in trying to make communication better in a workplace, the top-down flow, from top to bottom down flow of communication can be very effective. But it takes, I think, extra work, and sometimes people get complacent in their jobs and don't want to make that effort. I appreciate your post, and I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I feel a lot of frustrations about that top-down communication in my workplace. So thanks so much, and have a good day.